Good evening, everybody. Yeah, it loses it. Okay, good. We're here.
Yeah, but it's good.
Ooh, there's some major feedback. Let me see what's going on. Sorry, guys, hang on just a second. Figure out why I'm getting so much feedback. Everybody hear me? I'm thinking they can. Okay.
Yep, Wanda says we're good.
Okay, good. And the feedback's gone too. Okay. Okay. Hey! Here we are. We are live. It is Tuesday night. I almost said Thursday night. Back to the old days. Tuesday, January 24th. If that is the date, then you are watching us live. Otherwise, it's Memorex. Just as good. I know. Hello, Greg. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, we are actually waiting for our guest to show up. So we're waiting for him to pop on so that we can call him and include him on this show about him. So we're waiting for him. Something happens, we're just going to talk and we're just going to go with it because I'm sure Greg has something really interesting to talk about just in case.
Oh, yeah. I sure do.
Yeah. Twisted to the side look. Yeah, I've got the hairdo over here. Well, let's see. In the last week, big things going on with Through the Veil. A couple things before you leave tonight, if you haven't done so already, and I'm sure you all have, scroll up to the top of your page and just hit like on PTVN because we are happy to be here. We have a good time doing this show and happy to bring it to Brandon Kreitzer's site and Mrs. Kreitzer now because she gets half of everything. Just so you know, Brandon, getting that out there. What's yours is hers and what's hers is hers. So, yeah, click like, and then after tonight's show, just take a quick jaunt over to throughtheveil.org. Spell it all the way out, throughtheveil.org, and check out everything that's going on there. You can find us, both Greg and I, and a Through the Veil page on Facebook. Follow us there. Through the Veil Productions also, of course, has a Twitter page. You can keep up with stuff that's going on. I don't remember who I announced, Greg, last week as far as speakers for... Did I announce Jonas Elrod last week? I don't think so.
No, I don't think you did last week.
Yeah, okay,
I think you were thinking about it, but you couldn't at the time.
Right, that's right, because I didn't have everything yet. So, we are pumped to announce the addition of Jonas Elrod. And the story of Jonas Elrod is, Jonas is from South Georgia originally, living currently in New York. And you may have seen him on the Oprah Winfrey Network recently on her Super Soul Sunday special that she does. Jonas's story is, he was filming another documentary about something and was staying in a Ramada Inn when suddenly he started seeing spirits, angels, demons, whatever he thought that they were, coming in through the walls, and colors, lots of light, and geometric patterns like triangles, squares, just weird things that just kept coming into the room. And he, was a little freaked out, obviously, went outside, continued to see everything outside, and from that day forward, he has seen all of these things. And he made a documentary about it called Wake Up, the Film, and that's the name of the site, too. You can go to wakeupthefilm.com. You can watch the trailer there, but he's got a documentary about what his experiences were, how he kind of looked for some help, sought medical help, psychiatric help, help from gurus, rabbis, just went on a real quest to figure out what the heck was going on, and it was really scary for both him and his girlfriend. So now some years have passed. He no longer looks at it as a curse but a blessing. He's learned how to kind of ground it and control it a little bit more, and he's going to be at Through the Veil previewing the film Wake Up, where we can watch with him and then ask him some questions and answers after. So he's going to be really cool. He has a Facebook page, Jonas Elrod. find him, and again, go to Wake Up the Film. You can download the video, the full documentary, for $4.95, and I think you have 48 hours to watch it. And I watched it actually probably a little over a year ago. I loved it. It is worth, and it's a full. $5 is nothing, but I'm like a tightwad. I'm like, $5. There better not be no 20-minute. It's like that trailer better not have had all.
Worth for $5.
I know. But it was full length. It was a good 90, 100 minutes, something like that. It was good, and it wasn't boring. It was really interesting. I loved it. I completely recommend seeing it. And if you don't see it before, see it live with Jonas Elrod standing there too. So he's going to be cool. I'm really pumped about him. And then
now, when he was seeing all this stuff, you said that it was him and his girlfriend in the room. Was his girlfriend?
He was alone. No, he was alone the first time that he started seeing it. Was sitting in the hotel room. Probably, I think he said something about he had been filming all day, came back or something. But if you go to YouTube and put in Jonas Elrod and Oprah, you'll find the little. It's not the full thing, which I couldn't find his full. Episode or whatever you want to call it on Oprah, but you can find the little bits and pieces where he talks about it. But his girlfriend Mare was not with him, and she's a skeptic, and she was really, kind of worried what was going on with him, but there was no reason to believe that he was lying. Yeah, he got medical help. There was no reason. Got the whole brain scan. Nothing, wrong that should have caused anything like that. So, yeah, I know she said on the Oprah thing that she was worried once the documentary came out, because she's a skeptic, that people were going to hate her. And I mean, it needed to have that skepticism in there too, because it just lent to the believability of the documentary. But it was really good. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Cool. And he's like kind of artsy kind of looking guy. His look changes throughout the course of the documentary. Long hair, shaven, unshaven, scraggly, clean, all these different looks. But he went, there's one part in it when he goes and seeks the help of some Native Americans, and he goes, they bag up tobacco, and I think if I remember right, they had to be in colored bags, certain colors. So they bag up all this tobacco, go sit up on this hill, surround him with these bags of tobacco, and that's where he can't enter that circle, and they leave him, and he has to stay there all night. And basically the tobacco is like offering a gift to the gods, and he's trying to seek help all in exchange for the gift of tobacco. It's really neat.
I thought you were going to say he had to smoke all the
every
tobacco
bag
before he could come back down.
Yeah, well, because the answer would be in the puke. Yeah, so somebody would come up, and once he threw up, they'd be able to read that and say, oh, this is what's going on.
Corn.
Yeah. You need to chew better. So he's going to be there, and he's just going to be really interesting. He sees energy, sees auras. He explained to Oprah that he doesn't see it all the time nonstop, which is good. It kind of comes and goes, fades in and out. So he's going to be there. I'm excited about him. And then I believe I did mention Jason Ward last week, who's the medical intuitive that does the 3D body scan and can tell you what's going on in your body. A lot of times, as somebody, the both of us know, have issues, recurring issues, headaches, whatever, and trying to seek medical help. And their answer really is to not treat the person, but to treat the symptom. If you have a headache, then this is what you take. If you have, and we're all different, all of us, so what may affect you, Greg, even in medicine, the same medicine may not affect me in the same way. And what causes you to have a headache may not cause me, so Jason is able to see things and treat you as an entire person, and he goes, from head to toe all the way down to the cellular level, and he describes seeing everything in 3D and can tell you where there's blockages, where things may be muddied up or sticky, and kind of gives some advice. And then at the end of it, he doesn't tell you, okay, now that we're done, Greg, if you could return to my homepage and purchase a quart of whatever for $500, you're going to be healed. You know,
Right.
it's not like that.
He's
and
not like the traveling salesman.
No.
Or we call that the snake oil salesman.
Yeah. And
I can't wait till I see this guy through the bell.
Yeah, and he was just last February 2nd. He was on, and I may have messed this up last week and said he was going to be on this February 2nd on Miracle Detectives on the Oprah Winfrey Network again, but it was last February 2nd. But so I'm just reading what Brandon's saying there. He was already on it. I'm sure the episode recurs. You can find it on YouTube, but just a really gifted person. And you know how when you talk to someone, you know if they're on the up and up or if they're, kind of blowing sunshine. And I knew, immediately, and this guy is for real. So he's going to be cool too, Jason Ward. And if you want to visit his site, it's titansgate.net. So titansgate.net. He's going to be there, of course.
Titans Gate?
Yep. He rocks. And he can also see in the future stuff. He can look for things like precursors to Alzheimer's, heart disease, whatever, so that you can get a jump start on stuff. If you have some things going on that are pointing to heart disease, you can take some measures now. So, yeah, that's Jason Ward. He's cool. Of course, Marie D. Jones, who's been our guest, and Larry Flaxman both. Marie's going to be talking about, it just went out of my head. Destiny versus choice, fate, free will. Does the universe intervene and have a plan, or are we puppets, on a string, or are we making decisions, based on our own free will?
Cool.
And then,
so she's going to change it up from last year, then.
Yeah, she's going to go a little bit more towards the softer side, I guess. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, that book just came out this year. I have an article featured in it. Plug.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
That's cool.
Yeah. Larry Flaxman, the Flaxmeister, he's going to be there talking about time travel. I think that's going to be cool. Time travel.
So he's going to talk about, basically going all Doctor Who. I'll give $1 to the first person that can do the Doctor Who theme song.
Oh, that's going to be Tamara and Rory. So you better bring your money. Yeah, I don't know it. I know we're trying to get him to wear some TARDIS heels we found online. Yeah.
I remember those. I saw those.
Yeah, I was like, Larry needs to wear these.
Going all out.
Yeah, that would be fun.
To match his Merce.
Yes, that's what I said too. So he's going to be there. Of course, John J. Oliver from he's been doing this kind of stuff, psychic investigative work, forever, since he was like 13 or something like that. And he got into that, and he was really well known in Japan. He was on all of their shows over there, and they just ate him up and had him working on their cases. And then Haunting Evidence came to Court TV, now True TV, back in the day, and he was the only reason why I watched that show. I don't know about you, Greg, but yeah, he was great. And he did that. Do you remember seeing that cool thing where like he'd be kind of channeling or whatever in his eyes? He would do the eye roll. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I was like, what's he doing there?
Yeah, it was cool. I loved it. And he's been with us at Through the Veil every year and coming back, and he is always voted, the favorite speaker. He's just so awesome. And trying to talk him into doing something a little bit different this year, which until I get his I'll do it, I ain't going to share it because you'll be bummed.
Right, if he decides not to do it.
Yeah, I know. That would stink.
About.
Yeah. Then we've got Mr. Panache Desai coming to do our keynote. That's so awesome. That's going to be off the hook. And we always do the opening ceremony. It's a big secret about what it is till you get there and put on a pretty nice production and thank you to the attendees and kind of start off the event right with the right intent and all that, and that's coming together. The plans are coming together for that. That's going to be really cool. Mr. Chip Coffey's going to be in the house on the heels of his new book, Growing Up Psychic, that is coming out this March, I believe, and you can pre-order that on his site or on Amazon. But he's going to be there. Of course, Brandon and Nancy Kreitzer are going to be there hanging out at one of the vendor tables and, hopefully getting some interviews with some of the speakers. Aaron Houdini is coming. He's going to do that Houdini seance with some of Houdini's actual personal effects sitting there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Won't that be cool?
I thought he was just going to do a magic show. But yeah, totally fair. He's going to do the whole seance thing.
Old-fashioned, cool. Sitting around the table just like they did back in the day with, I think, some of Houdini's personal effects, some of his wife's personal effects, and somebody else, too. So those items will be there right on hand, probably sitting in the middle of the table and, in an attempt to contact Harry Houdini. And I think even Aaron, the whole story about, Harry Houdini and his wife, whose name escapes me right now, kind of made that pact. Whoever one of us should pass, we got to have this code word or whatever that we say. And according to Aaron, he knows what those words were.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be neat. I think that's going to be really, really neat. I'm looking forward to that. And we've got a lot of other stuff coming up, too, that, more speakers that are going to be added, more event stuff. Oh, Saturday night. This is going to be so cool. Every year on Saturday night, I've held, Through the Veil has held a dinner for the speakers and the volunteers. A quiet time for them. Thank the speakers, thank the volunteers. But this year, we're going to kick it up a notch, and we are going to have a semi-formal dinner for a limited number of attendees to come and have dinner with the speakers and a sit-down dinner. That's going to be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Always a reason to dress up. I know. And then, of course, we got karaoke, Through the Veil wouldn't be Through the Veil without karaoke.
You remember Fleming last year at karaoke? What did he do? I'm a
Soul Man. Yeah.
Yeah. He was getting into it.
Yeah, with all the psychic kids up there with him.
Do it in the background.
Yeah. That was a good time. He really. Still. Yeah, I know. I've seen it on YouTube because it was all over Facebook for a while. And I got to say this about, everybody has so many choices to make over the course of the year. There's so many events going on, so many places where you can choose to spend your money. But it's always so nice to come back from the event has ended and to go on Facebook and see people just talking like crazy about it, posting videos, posting pictures, and that goes on for a full week after of everybody just posting all their stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's always cool.
Yeah. Well, it's not looking.
But yeah, I don't see him coming in on in chat. I've sent him a few messages. Right. I haven't heard anything back. I hope that hope nothing critical happened to him. I talked to him just about 5 hours ago, so I know he was psyched and he was pumped, ready to go on the show. So
and we do have a time difference with them. He's in California, right?
Yeah, he's way over there in the West Coast. Out in Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it'll be, if he hops on at 9 p.m. his time, it'll be midnight. We're going to miss him.
Right.
We're going to miss him. Oh, well, who knows what's going on with Daryl. We do sure hope that everything is okay, that nothing has happened besides forgetfulness or something that, we all deal with to prevent him from being on the show tonight. I kind of want to talk about him, but I don't want to talk about him, so if we reschedule,
Right. Besides all, I had a ton of questions I would definitely like to ask Daryl. So if he's not on tonight, then I would definitely like to reschedule him. But hopefully he can jump on. Even if he does jump on, we're at the make them talk really fast so we can get on all the questions that we got.
I know.
To the time frame.
Yeah. Well, it's always something. Isn't it? It's always something. Oh, let's do the alien show part 3. Oh,
it's show Christ. Part 3?
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit, and this is just off the top of my head, so I don't know how far I can go with this, but lately there's been a slew, and we kind of touched on this last week with Atala Dorothy Toy, a slew of videos popping up with these ominous sounds that nobody can figure out where they're coming from. What do you think that is, Greg? What's your gut say, or what are the possibilities?
There's several possibilities, but you got to take into account all the possibilities that I've thought of as possible theories. You have to also take it into account for past occurrence, or not past occurrences, but past things. You know, some people think that what's going on is basically the solar winds or solar flares kind of hitting the Earth, especially in all the solar flares that we're getting now. Strange thing about that is, well, what about the solar flares in the past? I don't recall ever hearing these strange noises or reported from a lot of different people when we have had a huge solar storm. So I don't think that that's the case either. I can't really say what else it could be. You know, I don't think it's you know, a whole buttload of ghosts going
right.
You know,
right.
At the same time. You know, I don't know. You know, maybe it's a bunch of wolves doing it.
Yeah.
I really can't say what's something good.
Oh, there's.
But you know, have you actually heard? Have you heard the sounds? You know, like the one that was in the baseball stadium.
I thought the baseball stadium video was neat because the announcers commented on hearing it, which was nice, and you know, kind of goes against what some people are saying, that it's, you know, just a hoax, one guy, you know, posting the video all over the place. Couldn't tell if the baseball players heard it, you know, or the people in the stands that I was kind of trying to watch. You couldn't really tell. They didn't seem to be reacting, so that was a little bit weird. But, you know, Brandon mentions about the trumpets in the Bible, and I know that, you know, in the book of Revelation it talks about the sound of a trumpet, and, you know, basically all the good people get sucked up, and the rest of us, I mean, I'll be gone, but Greg, you'll still be here, and you'll have to make a decision. You'll have to make a decision, but, you know, so...
Yeah, I'm going to your house.
Yeah, you better get over here quick. So there's that theory that Revelation and the second coming of Christ and all that stuff is possibly happening. Herman Trader, who we all know and love, spoke last year at Through the Veil, and he had a theory that it was possibly sounds from, you know, deep space that were just now making it here. You know, maybe something happened, however far away and however long ago, you know, maybe an explosion in space kind of thing, something, and we are just now hearing the noises. And like an earthquake, the series of noises days later, whatever, is like the after effects, the last little bits rumbling in. That theory makes sense to me.
It's not a bad theory.
Yeah, I like that theory.
My problem with that is how come it only occurs then in certain areas?
Well, it's been recorded in several different areas, but yeah, right. Why can't we hear it here if that's coming in? I don't know. Another theory was that it's a hoax for a movie. I don't really buy into that because it's happened in another country. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, if it happened in Hollywood or just in the United States, that would seem kind of relevant. And then the lifting, there's that whole theory, we can get into the aliens a little bit, that there was an agreement made however many years ago. I believe the thought was that it was between Eisenhower and the aliens, and almost like a peace pact that, you know, okay, you don't do anything, you don't alert people to your presence overtly until 2012. And then this deal is off the table then, which Eisenhower, if this ever happened, probably thought I'll be gone by then for sure. so we're good. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's I just like that it's sound. I think sound is so important. There's so many answers in sound, and that resonance, that I think it's I think that there's a purpose. I don't think that it's just kind of random, and I don't think it's a movie hoax thing.
And the sound itself, it's not exactly the same, on every recording, but it's pretty damn close.
Right.
And to me, it sounds like, a long, constant whistling of the wind going through like a wind tunnel. That's what I thought it was when I originally heard it. I was like, this sounds like it's this wind kind of reverberating somehow and just resonating, I guess, within that stadium. But then, you hear it in other locations where it's, completely outside. It's not enclosed whatsoever. So that kind of tosses that theory out, that it was the crowd and the stadium itself that was causing it. I can't say what it is.
What if it's
that it's
What if it's like underground? So I saw some people talking about that what if, in anticipation of some disaster or whatever, anticipation of fill in the blank, that they are building underground passages, safe places, blah, 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 and that what we hear is the reverberation of that, or they're using sound to blow out, that kind of thing. That was kind of a neat little theory. But I don't think anybody's talked about feeling anything, just hearing it.
I don't know. Remember, what was it, about 3 weeks ago? I suffered a pretty bad headache. LaWanda was suffering a pretty bad headache the same day. I think you had even chimed in that you were suffering a headache. And then when we started putting these messages up on Facebook, like, I feel awful, all of a sudden there was a lot of people that started chiming in saying, I've had this headache that I've had it for like the past 48 hours. I mean, it seemed like as soon as one person had said something about it, it just blossomed. And everybody said, I really did have a really bad headache that lasted from 48 to 72 hours. I don't know what the hell that was. Well, so who knows? Maybe there's, that's...
I like what Brandon said about the way that it sounded like, and I know what he's talking about, those whistles that are attached to a string that you swing around in the air, and it makes that woo. It kind of sounded like that. That's
what
neat.
you're talking about.
So now, I think the whole headache thing had to do with just our weather. It would have been interesting to find out what was the weather in the area where everybody who said I have a headache, what's going on. You were talking about it today that it seems to me like I have a sensitivity to a change in the barometric pressure. When something happens, I get a headache. Don't know about LaWanda. April's in the chat room. She had a headache for 4 days, so we're going to go ahead and send her a certificate and that little trophy that we had set aside for whoever had the headache for the most amount of days. Remember that? No?
I was going to do a stupid face. What's the trophy look like?
Yeah.
From a headache really bad.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I know there's too many extraneous things to try to piece it all together and say, oh, geez, the headaches are related to the sounds that are related to HARP, the other theory that's going on out there that's related to Voyager 1 and 2 leaving the universe and the winds are pushing back, and, I don't freaking know.
I don't know about that one. I had to think about that one. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't know what's coming up, and I don't feel like, we were talking about this the other day about how 2012 and that doom and gloom and apocalypse and what's going to happen on December 21st, and everybody think, oh well, it's definitely going to be something because everybody's talking about it. But how many things? It's like in our human nature to hang on to and almost seemingly hope for these cataclysmic events to happen. The end of the world, it's the end of the world, let's pick it, let's do our life savings. Oh, it's December 21st, you got to do everything now before it's going to end. But nobody's running around doing anything about, hey, we woke up, It's this weird thing that we have about horrible events. It's like driving by a car wreck, and you don't really want to see what's there, but you look. We have this weird, sick thing.
Brandon brought up an interesting one, and this is another part of the theory. I think it pertains with the pole shifts, with the basically the procession. Oh, there's that word again, procession. With the procession finally, concluding, and then a possible pole shift not long after the procession is complete. Maybe within months, or maybe even a couple years of that basically happening. Some people were thinking that the crust of the Earth, which really is not, it's solid to us, but underneath it could twist just like the skin on an onion. They're thinking that when the poles shift, that the crust itself will also just loop for a while as it's trying to basically settle itself, and doing that looping will cause lots of earthquakes. We would have major earthquakes, major tsunamis, everything like that. That's a doom and gloom type message. That's why I don't really like to read into it too much. But it's possible. I have to at least say that.
It's the Ring of Fire. I fell in. Okay, so what would you do, Greg, if we discovered that this had to do with aliens, and it was kind of, I don't know, I'll go crazy theory here, that the sounds are designed to raise and increase our vibration to a different state, to change us on a cellular level so that we could accept their presence or see them or something like that, and that all this is in preparation of ETs coming to the Earth.
What if that is the case? What if that's what's actually going on?
Yeah. What if Obama comes on TV tomorrow night and says, the aliens are coming, the aliens are coming?
My fellow Americans.
That's not Obama. You would think that you could do Obama's voice. What the hell?
Yeah, because, we're both white.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You're both from Hawaii.
Oh, dear God. What I really think, that'd be pretty cool. But, would that be the end all? Just raising, vibration to, I guess, to help people ascend to the next level. Would that be the only thing that you can do to help people in that nature? That was to you.
I know. I don't know. I don't know. I know I was kind of looking forward to asking Daryl about that. Not to bring that up again.
Right. Who knows? I mean, from what I understand, the ancient Egyptians used to help. I can't remember what you call it. I guess it's the Ankh, and it was another thing like a tuning fork, and they would.
That was the off. They had the Ankh and the off.
And the off, funny.
Yeah.
They would use these two tools to help a person increase their vibration level, and I guess to go to the next level, so to speak. They would basically bang the tuning fork, and then hold the Ankh together, and the combination would make some serious vibrations, and then they would, I think, put it on their chest, right where their heart was. And from doing that, they were able to raise their awareness, raise their vibration to where they can go into the next dimension.
I think that there's something in that. I love that, the whole vibration talk.
Everything that's going on is, kind of the same thing on a global scale.
So just a little preparation for what's coming. I don't know. I don't know, the way...
Brenda says, my fellow Americans, these new visitors are a result of Bush re-elect me. Nice.
You know, you hear about those big drums and stuff like that. And in Orlando at Panache's event, they had this just humongous drum that they kind of stood on its side, and they would beat it, and you'd stand on the other side. 10 times bigger than that thing, but yeah, you'd stand on the other side. You know, so it would be like you holding that drum in front of you with the open end facing your chest, and having LaWanda, you know, beat on the other side of it, and that vibration would enter your body and cause a change, cause at least an altered state, if not, yeah. So you should try that. I mean, I think it's the same thing as like hemisync and stuff like that, where you hear that vibration and you do enter some sort of altered state, whether it's, you know, in between sleep and wake, or, you know, something beyond that. I don't know. Yeah,
and I have tons of binaural stuff that I've listened to, and, you know, you hear one thing, and this year is a little bit different, just a little bit off, and it kind of takes you out of your current mindset and throws you into a completely different one. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, there could be something to it where these vibrations could be trying to make a change. The other thing is, a lot of people are saying that, well, we're being mutated. Well, when I think of mutation, I think of the only way that could really happen is by radiation. And when I think of radiation, well, I think of the only real big source of radiation that we get every single day, the sun. We somewhat a slightly larger dose of radiation whenever there's a solar flare, and we're supposed to get a lot of solar flares this year. Mm-hmm. So who's to say that all the solar flares are actually a part of nature to help change us, to change our DNA to the next level?
I don't know, but I don't know about the, you know, mutations only by radiation, because that, you know, makes me go back automatically to the negative, Rh negative blood. That's a mutation of unknown origin, unless we had a dose of radiation. My ancestors, whoever, had a dose of radiation way back that mutated, burnt out the Rh factor.
Burnt out.
Burn out.
Saying it.
Well, and people have often told me that I seem burnt out, so.
Nice.
Brandon says we have a record solar storm going on, and could that be causing the sounds?
See, that's what I was saying at first. You know, would the sound itself be the cause of the solar flares, which, you know, it can affect the electromagnetic spectrum, you know, bouncing around on our Earth?
Right.
Could that actually make some kind of a resonance?
Well, I think depending on what
it's never really been happening.
Right, exactly. Why hasn't happened before? But yeah, that vibration could be bouncing off of what we've got here, buildings, whatever, causing the sound. But it itself has no sound; it's just a vibration. But then it vibrates something that then causes a sound.
Yeah, not a bad theory.
And if a tree fell in the forest.
Right. You know, it's. I mean, this is only January. You know, we got several months to go before we get all the way down to the end times, December 2012. So who's to say that you know, this is just the first part?
My whole thought is, screw it. You know, whatever it is, there's nothing that we can do to stop it, prevent it. It's interesting, and I will think about it, you know, and contemplate what I think it might be. But, you know, people are going to make big decisions based on this kind of stuff, change their whole life, you know, do things, and especially with December 21st coming, you know, yet again another end of the world date. They're going to make these big changes based on a what if. And I think it's just so crazy. And, even us in this field, questioning whether or not does the soul continue to exist after the physical body ceases. Spend so much time thinking, talking, trying to prove that. What does it matter? You know what I'm saying? If you take off that from your list of things to figure out, if you remove that need to find that answer and say it doesn't matter, it's really a relief. Yeah.
That's why that's what I came to right before New Year's Eve. If you really take in the fact and say it doesn't matter,
right?
You feel this huge weight on your shoulder just gone.
Right. It's incredible. And, talking with Panache in December and kind of asking him, but wait, what are you talking about? And I have felt this and experienced that, and these are my beliefs. And, he kind of just kept questioning and said, well, what does it matter? What does it matter? And when I finally realized that, because it's a letting go of ego. Wait a minute, I've spent 10 years of my life, looking for and believing in this very important research I've conducted, As soon as I just said, what does it matter, and took it off of the things that I feel like I have to solve, I thought it would be an empty spot, and it wasn't. It was just a huge relief, and you can really live more in the moment, because so many of us are focused on what's going to happen after we die. Isn't that a sad, sick thought? How much time we spend in our lives worried about and wondering about what's going to happen when we're not here. Duh. Didn't your
down the street neighbor who's like a devout Christian tell you one day that, hey, Michelle, when I go on, when the second coming comes, let me tell you now, since you'll be trapped here, that my jewelry is hidden.
That so sucks.
Jewelry's hidden in the top drawer.
That so sucks. No, well, what even sucked more is that she didn't actually tell me where it was. I'm thinking, and I knew she meant well, so I take it in stride, whatever, that's her beliefs, and, she feels comfortable and good with that, and I feel comfortable and good with mine, and who knows who's right, but, yeah, she says when tribulation happens, when the trumpet sounds, and the Christians of the world are brought up into the heavens, and you're all left here to make these final decisions and decide whether or not you're going to take a mark of the beast on your forehead and buy groceries with it, and all this stuff, I'm going to want you to know. I'm going to want you to know where my jewelry is so that you can trade it. And I was thinking, well, shit, I hope the trumpet don't sound here in a second, because you haven't told me. I thought, God.
I mean, there could be... Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, I thought, wow, if that happens, I really hope that I get pulled up right away, too, so I could sneak up behind her and go, hey, surprise, guess who's here?
But who knows? I mean, we tend to take things out of the Bible almost literally. But, there could be a lot of symbolism in the Bible that we just didn't pick up on, from initial reading. So who knows when it comes to Revelations, when it says that, people basically rise up and go to heaven, where we assume that everybody starts floating up into heaven or towards heaven. Who knows, could that not also be us possibly ascending to the next level, ascending to the next dimension? And that's kind of like how we're perceived, or that's how it was supposed to be relayed to us, or in a way that we could have understood at the time it was being written.
Well, and what I thought about that and trying to tie in, what could that mean? Because in her and I's conversations, there were things that I thought could be interpreted in a metaphysical or spiritual sense that she was interpreting in a Christian sense. And I thought, I like the word revelation, because we all have revelations where the light bulb goes off. We're like, oh, I get it. So this whole disappearing thing, I thought, what if it's really just an increase in our vibration, because we are not actually solid. We only appear to be solid. we are vibrating, molecules and atoms and all that stuff just vibrating really, really, really fast and seeming solid. So what would happen if we increased that vibration even more? Would we seemingly disappear? So what if, when the Bible says people will just disappear, what if that's not, God pulling up the good people and leaving the bad people, but that it's something that happens that our vibration increases to the point where we disappear?
Yeah. I came to that thought after basically speaking with Panache at this event in December. But yeah, I started thinking the exact same thing. Who's to say that we would increase our vibration, and if we can increase our vibration, we would no longer really be tuned to this reality. We would be in tune to a different vibration, so it would have to be a different reality. So over here, it would have to look like we just disappeared.
Right. Well, and I go back to that experience that I've shared, a number of times about the night that I was laying on my husband's chest, and I was just very peaceful. I wasn't thinking, woo, I'm so happy, I'm in love. I was just really calm. And for a split second, my head slipped into his chest. The barrier of his solid body gave way. And I went in for just a second, and I yanked up my head. I mean, it was startled the crap out of me, as you can imagine, and popped up my head. So something happened.
Baby?
Yeah, baby, he's scaring me, baby. But something happened that caused that. Obviously, I know that it was completely subjective, and I'm telling you something that only I can relate. But I'm telling you that it happened. For a split second, it happened. So whatever made him solid ceased to be solid for just a second. So I think it's very possible. And it was peaceful. And remember speaking with Panache that anything, when he was talking about seeing auras, and you were saying, well, how do I do it? His answer was just relax. Just relax and be. And that's exactly what I was doing that night on his chest. Just completely relaxed. In the moment, right there, my thoughts were not elsewhere, and that happened. So I think it's very possible that at some point we could kind of harness how to do that, how to be peaceful and be in the moment and raise the vibration to the point where we disappear, just like they did in Celestine Prophecy.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't put two and two together until you just said that.
Mm-hmm. Remember,
because when they disappeared, they went to a different state.
Yeah, initially in the first book, they are still right there. They can see the bad guys coming to get him, but they had to stay in that vibration of loving peacefulness, just calm. And as soon as the fear started, they would be solid again and be seen.
Yeah, drop back down. Yeah.
Yep, and then in the following books, the 10th Insight, they actually dimension jump, but somebody, Brandon, I think, mentioned in the chat room earlier. Time travel, dimension travel. It's all possible, you know what I'm saying?
I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, though. I didn't even think about that with the prophecy book.
Yeah, we just all of a sudden start vibrating really fast. Yeah, it's in the very end, and in the movie they do a pretty good the DVD of it. What were you trying to? I don't know what that was. Oh Lord, yeah. So
maybe that's why you repeat the word "om" to help with the vibration as well. To help, relax you and to help, basically has that resonates throughout your entire body. Because when you do that in such a deep tone, yeah, I would have to say that it is vibrating.
Right, and there's an app for this. There's an app, and I can't think of what the name. I'll have to look at my phone here. But basically, what the app is actually used for is to tune your guitar, so you know what chord your guitar is playing at. So the thinking is, let me find mine real quick here. Mine on the phone is called G-Strings, something like that. And what you do, and I can kind of show it here. I don't know if you can see it here. So you can kind of get and see it a little bit. And what you do in a normal situation is you would pluck your guitar string, and it would say, tell you if it's C, C flat, C sharp, stop that, or whatever, and you can do it with your voice. And the idea is to go to your lowest thing that you can hold, and just, till you get as low as you can go. Hold it, record that, and whatever that comes up, that's the chord that you vibrate at. And so in meditation and attempts that you make to try to go to an altered state, elevate yourself, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you should have that tone playing, because it's yours. It resonates with you. It's your sound. Isn't that cool? Cool. And they said that can be used for healing too. So if you're C flat, D sharp, whatever, and you're feeling sick, then you should play C sharp, D flat, and you will begin to heal.
Yeah, there's tone generators out there that you can get on your computer. There's probably tone generator applications or apps for your iPhone that you can get. Wanda says, so basically you're telling us that we all need G-strings.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, so you hit your lowest note and you hit the little record thing. Mine says tune auto on it, and let me just try to do it here. You can also play, and this particular app will play that note for you if you want. So I'm going to try to do it here. And you're going to hear me just, okay. Oh, it changed. It was, because I'm still talking. Hang on, let me do it again. It switched. It was, let's see if you can see what's lit up there. C is lit up right now, but what it was doing was, when I went low, was the C with the number, the hash mark sign. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to read music. It's either C sharp, C flat, something. And I was at approximately 133.8 hertz. So you just go as low as you can, and I probably could have gone a little bit lower than that, where it's comfortable. You're not, trying to force it. As low as you can go comfortably, and that's your note. That's what you resonate at.
So when it plays it back, does it play it back as a solid? And, go on continuously, or
it won't be your sound, but here I'll do it for you. So I was at a C sharp. Let's see. I'll go with this one, and let's see my volume. Okay. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
So and you can put on your
than 120 hertz now.
Yeah, I know. Actually, that's it. I don't know how to. Anyway,
Brandon says it's the sound.
It's it. There it is. It's been me the whole time. I confess. With my phone app. It had to come out. It had to come out. Yeah, it was the sound of my G-string. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is why it's dangerous to do shows with your friends around who don't mind busting your chops live. I love it. I like it. Yeah, I mean, and Brandon mentioned, using it for EVPs. And you can try to use that. The hard part then is to listening back to your EVPs with the sound going off. But if you can isolate that sound by maybe starting your recording with just that sound in the beginning, and then use a software to remove that sound and only that sound, maybe that would work. I like the idea, instead of getting all of the tuning forks for all the different notes, chords, and whatever, and rigging up something that they're all continuously struck to have that constant vibration going on, and then record your EVP. That's what I'm talking about.
I've heard somebody wanting to do that before. I'm not going to name the source, but yeah, I remember somebody had made the same proposition to get tuning forks to do that.
Who?
I'm not saying. It's like when you say in Harry Potter.
Give me a first name initial.
D.
That's bull crap.
I kid you not.
Total bull crap. Whose idea? Have I ever done it? No. But was I taught because I just didn't rig it? And if somebody tries it, that's great. But I was talking about doing that 5 years ago and said, somebody's got to rig this. This is what I want to try. And, I don't know if anybody's ever done it, but it's my idea.
It's probably where this person got the idea from. They probably stole it from you.
Oh, I'm sure.
I remember that conversation with this person well. She made it sound that it was totally their idea.
No, what I wanted to do, what I proposed doing was to put tuning to, we got to do things the best we can with the least amount of money, before you start going expensive. You can either set up a series of recorders to play all of the different tones, but I wanted like that actual striking vibration to happen. So I wanted to put all the tuning forks at different points on a bicycle wheel, hook that up to a motor that would turn them at an exact rate of speed that they would pass a striker, and the striker would hit each one, bonk, bonk, bonk. So you'd have to have them spaced. You'd have to do the math to figure it all out. But that would continuously go. Mm-hmm. So at all times, the note of that tuning fork was vibrating in the air.
So you'd have not just the sound, but you'd also have the reverberation.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and if you could figure out something like maybe even a mic to take that sound and play it live to even jack it up even more.
That's just it. You would have to, I guess, have a really good floor subwoofer.
Yeah.
To really, I guess, get the reverberation going.
That would be so cool. But I mean, you could do it for fairly inexpensive. The tuning forks are not cheap. But you can get them because they use them in medical things. So you can get a set of tuning forks that way, but they're not cheap.
Yeah, I got a doctor's appointment coming up. I can steal it when they're not in the room.
Yeah, totally. That'll take care of one cord. Oh, Lordy.
Right.
Well, so anyway, you heard it here. That was my idea.
Yeah, Luana says that we're locked, but it could be just on her computer. It's happened before. But your idea, yeah, believe it or not, it was said the exact same way. So, yeah, this person got it from you.
It was with the bicycle wheel and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, for feck's sake.
Right. What can you say?
I can say a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of times what we need to do as investigators is revert backwards a little bit. The traders in the chat room mentioned Tesla. Tesla had it going on. Go back, look. Oh, yeah. What was he doing? What was he thinking about? Go back to those times because he was on the right path, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Get a nice little Tesla coil.
Dimensions.
Yeah, he felt like he was receiving communication from ETs.
Yeah, which I was surprised to read that, for back in his day.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that he came up with, and the things that he would not, build was astronomical.
Right.
If it was possible to have a seance with anyone,
Tesla.
Tesla.
Hell yeah.
I would sit there for days.
Like Harry Houdini, that's cool and all, but bring it on, Tesla. What do you have to say?
Right.
You know, and people doing EVPs and working with the ghost boxes and stuff, why aren't you asking for someone specifically? You know, if you can communicate with the other side, if that's possible for us to have real-time, two-way communication, then ask for someone specifically. Ask for Konstantin Raudive. Ask for Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, what's her face from AA EVP that passed, you know, several years ago. If anybody's over there trying to talk, it's her.
I'm ready. Damn it. Ask me a question. Yeah.
Tesla could not invent something as cool as a pigeon. Yeah, Tesla had some quirks, but but don't we all? Don't we all? Especially you, Greg.
Right. No, not me. I'm never quirky.
Yeah, I mean, let's, you know, do it. Think, you know, be unique. Don't be afraid to go back. Everybody's so convinced that I got to come up with the next best thing, the next best. Well, what if the best thing was already created? You know, go back, recheck it out. Stop. I'll take Brandon off. That's all right. Stop doing the flashlight experiment. You're driving me crazy.
Oh God! You know, I'll give some props to the people that try to do, you know, try to branch out and use different things. But the flashlight experiment, I can't stand that as possible evidence.
It's too close.
I really can't.
You're barely disconnecting. There's still an arc of a charge there that's going to build up over time, and every once in a while it's going to meet it. And sometimes it's going to hold. It's going to be a give and take back and forth, and that arc is going to stay there. But it's cool. Yeah. Oh, it's... Flashlights are just for seeing in the dark.
It's usually it's a thick spring. So who's to say that spring doesn't, you know, expand, you know, when it gets hot and it contracts a little bit,
yeah.
And, you know, this goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And you just happen, you know, because it's not like you get an instant hit, you know, is there your spirit with us? It's not like it gets an instant hit like that. It could be 20 seconds, 20 minutes later, all of a sudden it goes off.
Well, and then people will say, oh, but we've had yes-no conversations back and forth with the light going on and off, going off. Okay, do this. When the light goes on, ask a question or two because you want to, and it's there. Ask a question or two, but then stop asking questions. Only ask one or two in just a couple seconds. And then stop asking questions and just sit there and watch how the light still comes on and off, until that arc breaks, until the charge dissipates.
You know, I'll equate it to this. When me and Lawanda were at Eastern State Eastern State Penitentiary a few years back doing a group investigation. We were down this one area and we started hearing knocking, you know. So we then started asking questions. Is that a spirit that's trying to talk to us?
You're like, oh, yep, it answered.
Are you a male spirit? You know, are you? Because it was a penitentiary only for men. So are you a man spirit? Oh, cool. Are you like, you just start asking tons of questions.
Was you a murderer?
Right. Well, just out of curiosity, I wanted to see, because it was the door itself, we could see it was a cell, but we couldn't see really on the other side. So what I did is I went outside around to about the area where that door was, and what did I see? I saw a door that was flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
Just hitting the side of the wall.
Yeah.
And when the wind was blowing it just right. So, it just happened to be the right timing to the questions when it was responding or basically hitting that wall.
Well, and we'll allow a lot, too. If I ask you a question, Greg, then if you don't answer me in 2 seconds, I say, are you there? Are you still there? But when we're doing an investigation thing, we'll say, is there anybody here? Oh, yes, they're here. They're here. They hear me. Are you a male? It's a male. It's a male. I heard it.
Right. Exactly. You know, what were they doing? Were they looking at all their messages on Facebook through their iPhone at the time?
Right. What? Oh, somebody's asked me a question. That's so funny. Yes. When you're getting sounds that you feel are a response, stop asking questions and see if the sound still keeps going. Anyway, Jesus turned into bashing people. Do you know that it's 10:12? We are over our time. It's like we don't even pay attention to the clock here.
We just do what we want in this network. It's the Greg and Michelle network.
That's right.
It's all ours. You know, we pirated the network. Arr,
arr. Network. We're in the studio. We have infiltrated the system. Oh well, we're just so happy that we didn't lose our connection tonight. That's what's so exciting. This was just where we're making up for we kept losing it last week. Anyway, we should probably wrap
something with the weather. Yeah, and watch. You know, 2 hours from now it's going to be midnight. It's going to be a 3-hour change, and that's when I'll get the call in Uvu going, "Hey, you ready?"
Yeah. No, dude.
3 hours ago.
Yeah, you missed out. We ended 2 hours ago. Would you like to reschedule? And we will try, because he's, you know, hopefully he's fine and everything's good, and it was just an oversight, whatever, something happened to the computer, blah, 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 blah. 'Cause he's going to be really, really interesting, and so we're going to try again, hopefully for him next week. So we'll see what happens, and you know, watch on through the veil. Watch on through the veil. You can watch through the veil anytime you want, but watch on Facebook to let you know. And if the aliens have taken him, hopefully we'll get some sort of message about that. You know, because I do know, Greg, and I don't know if you heard this, and this should probably let people know that I received a channel message that the aliens are coming to abduct all of the sexy people this weekend. So, I mean, you're fine. I'm going to be gone. I won't be here next week, but Greg will be on live. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just take the jab out of my ass from that one.
April, they're picking me up early. That's because you're paying for the gas. You don't know it yet. April's the queen of the sexy people. Well, anyway, let's wrap things up, Greg. Again, before you leave, scroll up if you haven't done so already and click like on PTVN, the top place to be for the best show out there, which, by the way, you're watching it now. Yeah. And we'll be back next Tuesday. That's us. We're cool. Okay. That's all I got to say. I don't have anything left.
All right, everyone. Until next time, have a good one.
Gas, grass, or ass. I need a bumper sticker that says that. Okay. Love you guys all the time. See you next week.
Oh, I cut you off.
You did?
I thought you were done. I cut you off. Yeah. Clip's playing.